Well, good morning, everyone. Nick Reagan here with your 5 on 5 Plus as we start taking a look over Charleston this beautiful morning. A little bit on the chilly side, though. I want to thank you for joining us. It's 5 on 5 Plus. It's 5 minutes of local news and headlines. I got them all right here from our First Alert Desk and our Live 5 newsroom. Now, we're going to start this morning with a story that just came into our newsroom a couple of hours ago. A former altar boy is suing the Diocese of Charleston after he says the church failed to protect him from being sexually abused by a priest. The court documents state an altar boy whose name has not been released was groomed and later sexually abused by Father Robert Kelly at St. Andrew's Catholic Church in Myrtle Beach. The alleged abuse occurred in the early 1990s. Kelly served as a priest at St. Andrew's from 90 to 94. He died in 2004. Court documents state that the diocese and the bishop should have known about previous illicit and improper sexual relations by Kelly. The alleged abuse began as, quote, kissing, touching, and fondling, but then evolved into sexual abuse and misconduct. Officials with the diocese say they have received the lawsuit and will respond in due time. A woman charged in connection to the death of a 2-year-old has avoided life behind bars by entering an Alford plea. Yesterday, Stephanie Johnson will now only face a maximum of 30 years in prison. That plea means that while Johnson is not accepting guilt, she's acknowledging that the state has enough evidence for a conviction in a trial. In May of 2020, Johnson was babysitting 2-year-old Alex Young, who was later found unconscious in a backyard pool. A police investigation found Johnson waited nearly 2 hours to call for help after Googling how to get water out of lungs. Johnson will now be on strict house arrest until her official sentencing is scheduled for April 23rd at the Berkeley County Courthouse. The student accused of firing a gun inside a South Carolina State University academic building is walking free this morning, but is now being hit with new charges. 19-year-old Rolando Eiffel now facing attempted murder, assault, and weapon possession charges. Campus police arrested Eiffel after reports of a shooting Tuesday morning. Officials say Eiffel and the victim got into a fight, and that's when Eiffel pointed a gun at the victim and fired, but did not hit them. Yesterday, Eiffel was released on a $50,000 bond. All right, well, let's change things up here, taking a live look outside at beautiful Las Vegas, where the temperature there is a balmy 49 degrees. That's the high for today, but let's go ahead and check in with our own First Alert weather team to see how things look in our neck of the woods.
And good morning, I'm meteorologist Joey Sovine. And look at your weather today. Cold and frosty for many of you early this morning. Temperatures starting out in the 30s, going through the 40s. We'll be near 60 degrees by lunchtime. So really quick warm up today, partly cloudy, low to mid 60s for high temperatures this afternoon. Then not as chilly this evening or overnight. Lows will be in the mid 40s. Tomorrow afternoon, 71. Will be mostly cloudy but dry. Saturday, same deal, 74 degrees, still dry. But late in the day on Sunday, we'll see the rain chance go up, and it looks like it could be pretty wet on Monday.
All right, thanks, Joey. Again, you can see Las Vegas there as folks are getting ready for Super Bowl 58. Right now, current temperature, or the high rather, is 49. Current temperature about 44 degrees. Well, let's head to Myrtle Beach now. A Dillon County deputy is accused of sending inappropriate text messages to a woman part of an investigation. SLED says Anthony Inman asked the woman to delete sexual messages from her phone. Inman is also accused of telling the woman she was being investigated. He's being charged with misconduct and obstruction of justice. Here at home, the Charleston County School Board has officially signed a new district superintendent. Anita Huggins' contract got final approval from Board Chair Keith Kabrowski yesterday. This comes nearly 3 weeks after she was offered the position. Huggins will be paid $275,000 a year, filling the same role and almost the exact same contract left by former Superintendent Eric Gallion. At least one school board member demanded that the full board have the chance to approve the document first, but based on the information we've received, Kabrowski alone was able to approve that contract by himself. For the first time, a James Island woman who survived a hit and run on Woodland Shores Road is opening up about what happened to her that day. 35-year-old Jen Drummond was surrounded by family yesterday at the Maybank Public House to give us an insight on her ongoing recovery. Drummond was involved in a hit and run on June 21st last year. She says she doesn't remember anything from that day or the 12 to 18 months beforehand. Since the initial incident, she's had to relearn how to speak, walk, and write after suffering injuries from her head down to her hip. If you'd like to hear more from her, or if you'd like to hear what she has to say about the community, you can head to our website, live5news.com. Now, there have been no arrests in her hit and run case. And I will say, listening to her this morning, her recovery has been described as absolutely incredible. She speaks very well for somebody who had to relearn how to speak. All right, well, that is about it. We do have just a couple of mentions before we go, things to know. Nan is giving away some free food today for those who are in need. That's going to happen at the Redeemed Christian Church of God Victory Temple in North Charleston from 2 to 5. And, of course, it is first come, first serve, so get there early. On the national side of things, former President Donald Trump, his legal cases are going in front of the Supreme Court today, specifically the case out of Colorado where Colorado decided to ban him from the ballot using the 14th Amendment that says anybody who engaged in insurrection can't hold office. That will be in front of the Supreme Court and something to watch for sure. And then finally, Democratic presidential nominee and long shot Marianne Williamson has decided to throw in the towel. She has officially dropped out of the race. Well, that is a look at our top headlines here from around the Low Country. This has been 5 on 5 Plus. I'm Nick Reagan. And again, thank you so much for joining us.